like I'm dragging around a ball and chain, and it's weighing me down when I just wanna cut it off and let it roll away. But then you're there and you smile at me, and all at once you set me free. And I don't want this feeling to ever leave, 'cause baby, you make me feel lighter than a feather on a warm summer day. And it's so easy every time we kiss. I wanna stay right in the moment while we're riding cloud nine, fluttering wings in this heart of mine. When everything's gone to gray, baby, let's float away. Baby, let's float away. When I'm with you, boy, I gotta look down, make sure my feet are still touching the ground. So lost in you, I can't tell where I am. 'Cause baby, you make me feel lighter than a feather on a warm summer day. And it's so easy.
Look at you,
How are you?
Natasha Blaine. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
That compound, it looks so comfortable.
Oh
With the
yeah, I've got like
blankets, the
all
whole
my
thing.
blankets. We've got like 6 pillows on this couch, you
Oh
know.
my
It's
God,
what happens
unbelievable.
when 3 girls live together.
Listen, whatever it is, you guys have the right idea, Natasha. But you know, Natasha, I have to tell you, the best things in life, they happen when you least expect them. It's one of the best parts of living, quite frankly. And last month, here in Nashville, we stumbled early into this classic venue for my audience that doesn't live here called The Basement. And the place was packed. I mean, like people were dancing. I mean, people were happy. And as I was walking in, there was magic happening in the room. There was magic in the air. And at the center of it was you. You were creating magic on stage. It was unbelievable, Natasha.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was honestly such to have met you at after my show when you hadn't even planned on seeing my set at all. And honestly, that was such a fun night, and it was so special, and I'm so happy that you got to see that.
It was amazing. I mean, if I would have known, I would have been there since noon.
I
But
did.
yes, but Natasha, that was a special night at the basement, wasn't it?
It was so special. And that was one of the first like real headlining shows that I've played, and it was better than I could have ever expected. I've spent the past year really solidifying who I want to be as an artist. And I guess it's always like it's a constant evolution and a constant process of growing. But the past year has been really amazing. And the first show that I played with, the band that I have right now was about a year ago. So
Wow.
yeah, it was about a year before the show at the basement that you saw. And it's just really crazy for me to think that like I've made so much progress. Like we've made so much progress and
It
in
honestly
just
looked
that
like
amount
you
of
had been
time.
doing this for 40 years. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It was unbelievable. And by the way, your debut EP, I Fall in Love Too Easily, it's out now, as well as the single Paris Again, which you released late last year. Just beautiful, beautiful songs, Natasha.
Thank
But
you.
to give like my audience just like a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about, like just indulge me here. I mean, it's all beauty like this, all your songs. I love that one, but check this one out.
I'm looking around the room at all these pretty faces, and I just feel a little stuck.
I mean, my chills have chills, Natasha. All one
Oh.
after another. It is just magnificent stuff.
Oh, well, I appreciate that so much. And yeah, that EP, so that EP came out in June, and that was a project that I was I was working on for like about a year and a half or so before it came out. And yeah, like you said, Paris Again just came out in December, and
December.
I have so much new music that I am working on, and
Can't wait.
I'm just so happy that it's been so well received. Like
Hmm.
you never really know like how people are gonna perceive the music that you put out, but I mean, I believe in it, and it just makes me so happy to hear that your chills have chills.
No, but like the thing is, you have the goods. Like I've seen you live. I've heard your records now. You can really freaking sing. Does it make you angry, Natasha, or like frustrated when you hear a record, like a pop record, and you kind of know the person can't sing? Like, does it feel like cheating to you, like when they use auto tune or something like that? Like, hey, I can really do this thing. I don't need to lip sync a song.
Okay, that's a hard question to answer, because I think auto tune is a fantastic invention, fantastic, and I think certain artists have certain strengths. There are a lot of artists that I really like who aren't really good singers, but they have
Right.
their thing. Like, you think
Hmm.
about like Bob Dylan or something, like he's not going around saying that he's the best singer in the world.
Good
But
point.
I mean, I think one of my strengths is definitely my voice, and yeah,
Yeah.
I it
Yeah.
doesn't really bother me unless people are pretending that they can do the runs that they can't.
That's funny. That's funny. Oh my God. And how do you care for your voice, Natasha? Like, what's your self-care? Because it's a gift that you have. Like, how do you care for your gift?
Well, definitely a lot of water is
Mhm.
important, and that's something that I'm constantly working on. And beyond that, I studied music in school, and
Right.
I took a ton of voice lessons, and learned just so much about like the physiology of the voice. And there's a lot of like warm-ups that are really important that I try to do regularly, and just like making sure get enough rest. I'm not trying to sing for more than a few hours every day, because I know that doesn't do good things for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. But like, you don't smoke, or I've noticed here in Nashville, like a lot of singers, a lot of my friends singers, they smoke. I can't believe they smoke. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, smoking is a very popular thing to do here. I don't
It's
smoke,
crazy.
but
Yeah.
I'm like one of the only people who doesn't
I
smoke.
know. It's almost like pure. Like, should I be smoking? Like, what's happening here? It's
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of like confused.
right.
Should I start smoking? Like, probably not.
Right, right. I hear you loud and clear. Oh my God, too funny. And Natasha, I mean, I can't imagine you doing anything else than what you're doing now and what you're pursuing. But as the story goes, I mean, you wrote your first song like in first grade. I mean, like since the beginning. I mean, you wrote it on a piece of paper, you tucked it in a drawer on your nightstand, and you kind of hummed it along every night. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is pretty embarrassing. But my
Great,
first
better.
song that I ever wrote, it was called Life. And it was a
Mm.
song that I wrote inspired by the board game Life, which was my favorite game in elementary school. And I can still think of it right now. Maybe one day I will tell the world how that song sounds. But it was, yeah, that was the first song that I wrote. And then, from there, like I would like to think that my songs got better.
Yeah, yeah, but that's I mean, the fact that you wrote anything at 6 years old that was like singable, that's pretty epic, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I like to think so.
absolutely. But you only really considered music as a career later, like right, like when you were like in college. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm from Seattle, and
Right.
I grew up singing and everything, and like it really was, my dream forever to do music as a career. But when I started college, I went to the University of Washington for a
Mhm.
couple years, and that's a school that's in Seattle, like 15 minutes from where I grew up. And I wasn't studying music, I was studying English. I was really involved in the sorority, and I was really involved in an a cappella group.
Nice.
And I loved my a cappella group more than anything else. And I think that's what kept me from moving to a music city sooner.
Mm,
But I ended up studying abroad in London.
right.
And I remember meeting people in London who were doing music full time. And that
Mhm.
was really the first time that I had interacted with people who really were doing the thing. And it just started to get me thinking. And I ended up moving to Nashville. I transferred to Vanderbilt University
Yeah,
and moved here and immediately just started giving it 100%. And I haven't
I take it.
stopped.
I take it. Was there like an aha moment in London, Natasha? Like, is there a
Oh,
moment where
yeah.
you think, and I was like, I was in the London Bridge, and that's when it hit me. I'm gonna do this full time. Was there like a moment?
There was a moment, and it sounds kind of like mundane, and I think in the moment I wasn't really like, oh, this is the moment of my life. But when I think back to it, I was out with some of my friends on my study abroad program. We were at some bar. We started talking to this group of guys, and they were like our age. And this one guy just starts saying like, oh yeah, I was just writing a song with my friend, and he's just talking about like all the things that he was doing that day, like recording something, like tracking guitar. And I was just thinking like, this is something that I could do, and I
Yeah,
don't see why I wouldn't at least give it 100%, give
he
it a
was just
shot.
speaking your language. He was like, you were like completely like engrossed in that conversation.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, it was just like, I was just like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. And I'm glad you picked Nashville because, and I think part of the cool thing you're doing is you're exposing people that aren't in love with jazz, like in music standards, and for them to fall in love with it, the way you did when you were a little girl. Am I right? Like, I think this is a way, like one of your goals as an artist, or at least it's one of the things you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. So I think jazz has been a huge part of my life. My grandmother taught us jazz music when we were like really young, and I always loved it. And it's been such a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
And I got a minor in vocal jazz in college, and I continue to like do some jazz gigs here and there. But like with my artistry, I wouldn't consider my music jazz necessarily, but it's very much jazz influenced. And yeah, like you said, I think it's a way to get people who wouldn't consider themselves jazz fans
Mhm.
to really be grooving to something that's jazzy.
Right. I love it. I love it, Natasha. And okay, you moved to Nashville. What was this? 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
2018. And how's your experience been so far? I mean, there's
Oh
a
my God.
pandemic in the middle.
So I love Nashville. The pandemic definitely threw a wrench in things, but yeah, I mean, Nashville is it's just the perfect city. It's the perfect city for me right now. And I think like it's such a great community of
Yes.
musicians, and the culture is just so wonderfully collaborative and friendly and supportive. And there's also just so much talent here that it's stupid,
It
but
is
it doesn't
stupid.
feel it doesn't feel like people are, cutthroat necessarily. Um, and yeah, I mean, when COVID first happened, I did have to move back to Seattle for a few months, but I came back here. Luckily, I was able to. So I've been back here since like May of 2020.
Yeah. But you're right. People don't understand that, like, the level of talent in Nashville. Like they have to be here to experience that. You may have been the best in your school, in your community, but here you're just another talent, another very talented person. But yeah. But I'm glad you're here because like you're definitely like standing out. You have a niche, and like people are completely like Natasha Blaine is like a house. It's becoming a household name. So we love that, and I just love that you're all about good songs too. You know, like I don't get the sense that you're interested in like the trends of the moment or dancing or frivolous art. Like you just want to sing and write good songs. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, you nailed it. I mean, that's at the heart of my music. And
Yeah.
I love trends. I think they're really fun, but I think at the end of the day for me, like if something isn't speaking to me authentically and it's not really coming from my heart, I don't see a point in putting it out there. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And yeah.
I love it. How do you know, Natasha, by the way? Because all your songs are amazing. You must have some amazing songs like recorded in your phone that no one has heard but you. How do you know when a song like you said, like touches you, like gives you that like feeling, makes your heart sing? Like, how do you know? How do you know like that, the Paris song over the other songs?
You just kind of know. And
Yeah.
it's so funny that you say that, because I've been, co-writing off and on. I am working on a new project right now, so I've been spending a lot more time recording recently, but I had a co-write today and I got that feeling.
Mm,
And it's really hard to describe, but it's just like, it just feels almost like a sigh. Like, it's just, you said what you needed to say, and you know that when people hear it, they're going to feel the same way. And it's almost like otherworldly. It's just a really magical feeling.
amazing. Amazing, Natasha. And I know you're gonna perform a song for us. We're really excited about it. What song are you gonna perform for us? And just like, yeah, what song? Tell us some
Yeah,
background on it.
so this song is unreleased. It is a song that I wrote a few months ago. It's called Heights.
Okay.
Um, and it's one of my more vulnerable songs for sure.
How so?
It's so it's about falling in love, and it doesn't necessarily need to be with a person,
Mm,
but it's about falling in love and feeling like you are at the height of your emotions and you're
yeah.
just so happy that you can't imagine what it would be like to come down from that, but the
Yeah.
thought of coming down from that is terrifying. So it's kind of a song that encapsulates a lot of what I experience, with positive emotions. It's kind of like that happiness that has to end at some point. And
Unbelievable.
it's
You
something
know,
that I
it's
think I
it,
needed to
yeah.
say.
No, it's funny you say that because everything dies, and I was talking this with everything dies, everything in life has an ending, but that's what makes moments beautiful. You know, that's why like when you talk about London, when you talk about the school Vanderbilt, all this, when you talk about the basement and all, Judy's like Rudy's jazz club and people were dancing. This is what makes moments beautiful. So I'm so happy you said that too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
That's so true.
Oh my God. Well, Natasha Blaine, you have said it all. I mean, we're big fans. We are buying all our stock in Natasha Blaine. This is like buying Netflix in '98. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's like everybody get on the train early. There's still cushion space. You're not gonna be able to get in soon. So Natasha Blaine, what a pleasure.
well, thank you so much for having me. This was
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Absolutely. And we'll see you around town.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Next moment.
I was never much for falling in love. Tried to keep my feet on the ground till you showed up. And you messed things up. Always had a plan, never wanted change, but you're blowing like the wind and you took me away. You took me away. 'Cause I've always been scared of heights, but the view up here looks so nice. You've got me feeling like I'm walking on a cloud, rain underneath me now, but I know everything that goes up must come down. I just wanna stay high in your summer days, but I can't stop thinking that I'll hit the ground. Ooh, what would happen if I got too used to this? I still miss you when it's only been a day. Will it still hear me when you say you love me? You say that you love me. Right now I can't imagine how we would even feel for just a few minutes with you to be no big deal, no big deal. 'Cause I've always been scared of heights, but the view up here looks so nice. I don't want you to leave my side. I'm walking on a cloud, rain underneath me now, but I know everything that goes up must come down. I just wanna stay high in your summer days, but I can't stop thinking that I'll leave the ground. Ooh, what would happen if I got too used to this? Used to this, used to this, used to this, used to this, used to this. 'Cause I'm walking on a cloud, rain underneath me now, but I know everything that goes up must come down, down. I just wanna stay high in your summer days, but I can't stop thinking that I'll leave the ground. Oh, what would happen if? Tell me, baby, what would happen if? What would happen if I got to